Have you ever seen a real overnight success? I mean a little overnight success. We hear a lot about it. I have some news for you might not like. There's no such thing as an overnight success. It doesn't happen, and it never will. Now you could argue with me and say, well Ed, what about the people who won the lottery? That's not success. That's a game of chance that they played. They didn't deserve it, they didn't earn it. Hey, good for them, they won. But that is not success. Please don't confuse the two. Overnight success, that term was coined because people see the 10%. They see the flashes of the camera. They see the extravaganza. They see all the lights and the pomp and fritz. They see everybody surrounding a person. They only see the glory, the finish line, the last 10%. It's the iceberg syndrome. We only see that which is above the water, and we falsely assume they are an overnight success because we haven't heard of them before. They just popped onto the radar. They came out of nowhere. They did it in a real short period of time. No, there's no such thing as a short period of time. Now, theirs might be shorter than yours or mine, but there's no overnight success. There's the iceberg. There's that small portion you see at the top, which is up to 10%. It could be less than that. And then there's that 95% that sits under the water that you don't ever get to see and I don't get to see. That's all the hard work, the frustrations, the failures, the effort, the loneliness, the loss of all kinds of stuff where you eventually stand alone because you're the only one left believing that it can be done. And you go through the months and years of toil trying to work through this. Nobody sees any of that because you're not famous yet. You haven't become successful. You're through the journey of it. You're going through the process of it, the refining fire, the best part of it, because that's who you become. But you're not at the finish line yet. When people see you at the finish line, they falsely assume, because they haven't heard you, watched you, seen you day in and day out, that it was an overnight success. I believe that this is dangerous, this iceberg syndrome. And here's why. I think that when we see that top 10%, we become the Titanic. We assume that's all there was to it. And we say things like, oh, that person was lucky. That person was in the right place at the right time. Well, if I had what that person has, I could do it. If I had their skill, their talent, their ability, that silver spoon they were born with, if I was around the same people they were, I could do what they did. See, we start comparing ourselves where we're at right now to their tip of the iceberg, to the pinnacle of their success. That's dangerous, my friends, because then we start to rationalize to ourselves and say, I can't do it because I'm not special like them. I don't have what they have. And we forget about the 95% of the work they had to go through to get there. That's where you compare yourself. You compare yourself to the beginning, not to the end. There is no overnight success. Get that out of your head. If you want to be a success, you're going to have to knuckle down and work half days, 12-hour days. You're going to have to work as if tomorrow is your vacation time and you got to get your work done today, and do that every single day. Fall in love with what you're doing. And you'll have that type of an iceberg effect where you'll be in front of the cameras and the flash bulbs, and people will start to draw around you. And then you'll hear those foolish statements coming from the crowd. Oh, he or she, they got lucky. They're special. They're an overnight success. Watch. Mark my words. Knuckle down today. Make a decision. You're going to stay the path. And you'll find that finish line also. You'll find that 10%, that iceberg syndrome. My name is Ed Carcarey. I'd like to connect with you at edcarcarey.com. Find your passion. You'll find your life.